his base. One cannon is already up, 150 supply against 160. Grubby with an amazing play, but there are a lot of Zerg units as well, and Morrow trying to kill as much as he can. He's replenishing his army once again. We have 10 roaches on their way, but all those stalkers, Grubby just microing them one by one, and look at those stalkers. Basically all of them are out of shields, and Grubby with amazing micro is taking the Zerg army apart, and Morrow has to retreat once again. He's in a lot of trouble right now, and Grubby pulling ahead in supply as well. Amazing play by the Protoss player, and he's really showing off right now. I mean, have a look at those blink and that blink micro.
Yeah.
Blink micro, that's the Warcraft 3 player right there.
Yeah, that was just the best blink micro so far, I think. Just the great timing with the blink, so he won't lose the shield, I mean the health. And, well, I think Grubby is playing very well right now. He's making Immortals and Colossus as well, and now it's the Temple Archives, so he wants to get the Storms. Versus Hydra, they are very good, and I think Morrow should change his tech right now to the Broodlords.
I have to admit that I really don't like Morrow's play at the moment, because he's just way too stubborn. He's employing exactly the same strategy he used against MC. He failed miserably against the Korean player. He's trying to do the same thing against Grubby, and Grubby is just prepared for it. Morrow is not flexible enough, and he's wasting a lot of units. I mean, he has lost 5,000 resources, additional 5,000 resources. If you just think about it, Morrow has an amazing economy. He is really good at making the decisions early on of when to defend and when to produce probes, drones, and therefore he can afford to lose a lot of units. But in the fight itself, he's using the burrow movement, I'll give him that, but I still think that his micro is not all that impressive if compared to Grubby's, and with a strategy like this, he just can't afford to waste that many units the whole time. He just can't afford to do it.
Of course he can, and Morrow, yeah, really, I'm a little bit disappointed as well. He has a lot of bases, and his macro is okay as well, but his micro isn't that good, as you said already, and he lets Grubby take all of his expansions, and now Grubby is really ahead because he had the full tech, he has the storms already. Now he needs to charge up the Templars to get a lot of energy to storm the Zerg army.
Don't get me wrong, Morrow is an amazing player, but I think that a more flexible player would be better suited to face so many Protoss players like Grubby and MC. Of course, the matchup is a little bit weird like that at the moment, but here's probably the last fight. We have a lot of storms, beautiful storms. That's the GG right away, and Grubby is able to take the first snap. He's able to take the lead in the best of 7. Here we go, the second game, Grubby versus Morrow. The Protoss player is ahead 1-0, and Morrow, the player from Sweden, was not able to defeat Grubby on Metalopolis. This is the best of 7 to my knowledge, and we have Grubby spawning on Terminus at the top spawn position at 12 o'clock, and at the right side we see Grubby right now as the Protoss player in blue. And I don't know, Morrow is one of the best Zerg players in Europe. He's definitely one of the top 3 Zerg players. He has an amazing macro game, in my opinion. He showed us quite a lot. That's too bad, then invite him earlier.
Too bad.
Well, actually, I'm really sorry about that, but...
yeah, but we were not the hosts.
First of all, we're not the hosts. Second of all,
we are the official stream.
Second of all, they weren't even supposed to be in any game I'm in. So maybe just make sure you join a little bit faster. We already told the players to invite you. Sorry about that, but still, don't type in the game. Okay, coming back to my thought process. Morrow is an amazing player. I like his macro. I like how he decides whether to go for an eco style or to actually produce units. But what I don't like that much is that he is just stubbornly playing one strategy. He's not evolving his play at all. And I'm sure he has a reason for that. I mean, there must have been other people who pointed that out to him, that he should be a little bit more flexible. But right now, he's easily readable. And I don't think that a lot of players have a problem preparing against his strategy. It's not that he's winning because he has a great strategy, but it's more because he's playing it just so well. I mean, as you already said, he's playing that strategy over and over again. He feels comfortable with it, but he should be able to adapt a little bit more to what his opponent is doing, in my opinion.
Yes, indeed. And he said before the games, like 2 hours ago or something like that, that when he prepares a build order, he wants to know if it's work. Like he said, one game doesn't matter if he will lose or win. He wants to play this builder for like 50 times, and then if you lose like 40 times, then he see that the build order doesn't work. And I hope that he will realize right now that the build order that he prepared for now is not good enough to win Grubby.
Well, don't get me wrong, it's a good build, but it's just not that good that he can play it every single game.
Yeah.
You have to put at least, you have to mix it up a little bit, and he could be so much better if he had a variety of builds that he would be able to play, because it would make him basically unpredictable. We have by the way, I was corrected right away. I wasn't too sure about it. I apologize for that, but it's a best of 5, not a best of 7, so slip up from me. And Grubby is walling off completely with the Forge, with the Gateway, and the Cybernetics Core. He scouted his opponent already with the Hatchery for Morrow being placed at his natural expansion. And here on Terminus, we see Morrow going for the gas once again. He has
and there's the Roach Warren.
Speed and the Roach Warren. So that's quite an early Roach Warren. And what does Morrow know? What does he know about the game so far? He knows definitely that his opponent is starting with a Forge. He knows about the expansion, so he might go for that Roach attack we've been talking about.
It is definitely that. He will cancel the Hatchery immediately, and then he will go for the attack with the Roaches. But Grubby is placing second cannon, and
with the second cannon, it's easy to defend.
Yes, it is, of course, but I'm not sure if if it is enough to deal with this rush, because it's very good. And now Grubby sees the expansion, and Morrow kills the probe, and now Morrow will cancel the Hatchery. And now, yeah.
Here we go, the Hatchery being cancelled. 5 Roaches right away, waiting for the additional larva. He will be able to get 3 more Roaches, 4 more Roaches. So 5 Roaches already on their way, and another 4 being more straight ahead. So I have to admit, this is going to be brutal. What is Grubby going to do? There are these rocks, and this is basically a weak point of Grubby's strategy right now. If Morrow is actually going through those rocks and into the expansion, Grubby will be in a lot of trouble. 2 cannons might not be enough. Grubby is not aware of that. He has no scout whatsoever. He doesn't have any idea of what's happening. He's relying on his economy. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. This is the one single strategy that Morrow is also comfortable with. This Roach pull with a Hatchery cancel, followed up by a Link play. And he's not even trying to break through that wall. And he's going for the destructible rocks. And Grubby is at least aware of that. Grubby has to know what's happening. He's placing, yeah, and he does. He is immediately placing gateways, but he needs some defense as well, and the photon cannons just won't cut it, but there are already 2 sentries, so this is going to be really, really interesting. And now Morrow playing a little bit more unpredictable. I like that really a lot, but still it's more often all in and not of a solid it's a solid strategy, but you know what I mean. Base is being built once again, and here comes the attack by Morrow. He's trying to sneak in, and now the pylon is being cancelled by Grubby. Here are all those Zerglings, and now immediately Morrow is going for the main base, and Grubby has to fight at 2 points at the same time. Very, very well played by Morrow. He saw the opening, and he took advantage of it. Is killing the gateway right now. Here are 2 of the cannons. We have an Overlord as well, and the Zerglings are being taken out, but already Grubby is behind. He lost a lot of workers. He lost 6 workers, but there are way too many cannons for Morrow to deal with, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Morrow should fight right here, because yeah, there are 5 cannons, 6 cannons actually, and gateway units, and well, the rush didn't work for Morrow.
Yeah, it didn't at all, but he has a follow-up. He already built his expansion. Let's compare those 2 players, what's going on. We have 42 probes, 24 drones, and that's a situation you don't want to be in when you are as a player.
Yeah, definitely. And now Morrow is a little bit behind, maybe not a little bit, but a lot behind, because of the workers count. And now, and even Protoss has the expansion right now, and what can I say? There's another gateway building and robo facility as well, and I think Grubby will just stay defensive for a while and take the third, and then he will go aggressive style.
Grubby is in a very, very sweet spot, and we have the Roaches trying to attack the Forge. He might lose that. Grubby is actually trying to kill the Roach of the Stalkers. He's dealing some damage to them, but well, Morrow, is he able to sneak in a Stalker that can't be attacked? It doesn't look like it, and we have one additional Stalker being brought outside of the wall, and now he's basically chasing down all those Roaches. That's looking a little bit crazy right there.
And he kills the Roach.
Yeah, he killed the
and
Roach.
still run away.
Okay, now he's just showing off. Robotics Bay on its way as well, and Grubby has to know that he has the lead right now. He has to know that. He has to know that he's in a superb position, and Morrow acting defensively. He's going for the spine crawlers. He has the 3 queens acting, trying to get some creep tumors. And as you can see, we have a scout for Grubby. He knows about the expansion, he knows about the evolution chamber, about everything that's going on for the Zerg player. And having another look at the worker supply, Grubby is still ahead. He's still ahead with roughly 20 workers. And as Mona already mentioned, option for the Protoss player would be to take the 3rd space as well. Morrow has 1 Zergling right over there in order to scout if the Protoss player is actually doing that. And Grubby researching the +1 attack upgrade. He has a decent amount of units already. He has 10 Stalkers, he has some sentries, is probably taking out that Zergling really, really soon. Here we go. The Zergling has been killed. There's an Overlord in place as well, by the way. And at the front we see another Zergling in position. The Zerg player is tagging to his lair, and Morrow is now probably in a situation that he's not really comfortable with.
He doesn't have any army that can deal with the army of Grubby. Look at this. There's 6 sentries and 12 Stalkers. So, and the third expansion for Grubby. So Grubby is in a very comfortable position, and just now lair was done by Morrow, and Spire is coming up. So is Hydra then. So what is Morrow up to? I don't know if he can come back to this game somehow to deal with the Grubby's army right now.
And if with the first Colossus, Grubby is immediately just pulling out and pushing out. He has the extended thermal lance upgrade, and that's the GG. Morrow knows that he has no way of winning. He has no chance of winning that game, and Grubby is pulling ahead with 2-0 against Morrow. We have the 3rd map right now. We have Xalaga Caverns, Morrow starting at the bottom left, and his opponent is starting at the top right. It's Grubby, and Grubby took the series with 2-0 so far. It's a best of 5, so this might be the last map. And what do you think goes through Morrow's head at the moment? Because he wanted to win. Well, he told me that it's really difficult for him to face Protoss players. Well, he had a lot of plans for this tournament. He wanted to finish as one of the top players, which he already did. I mean, he's in the top 4, but still he's facing Grubby. And Grubby being a player that is not able to play at his highest level possible, at the top of his skill level. And not sure. And I'm not sure if Morrow is not a little bit disappointed with how those games went. He came from a 3-0 loss against 3-1 loss against MC, and now he's losing 2 straight games to Grubby, another Protoss player. What do you think is going through his head right now?
I think he's like, practice. He's kind of a robot, but to be honest, I think that he stays calm still. Before the games, he said that he doesn't really care when he's playing. He stays calm. He wants to feel like in home, and I think he'll just play what he wants to play. So it will be probably the Roach Burrow build.
Okay, so we will see if that's actually going to happen. I really hope that Morrow has a late game plan by now, but I'm not too sure about that because he played really, really stubborn so far. But in the end, it's a build he is actually comfortable with, and therefore maybe he should go for it. I'm not against that build at all. I just think that in the late game against Protoss, Roaches just don't cut it.
Yeah, you can't make only pure Roaches. We said that before, that you need Broodlords or even Infestors to deal with the Protoss army, and actually Morrow isn't doing that.
So by now we have the Protoss player once again trying to get a cybernetics core. The Zerg player we see right here, Morrow, is actually going for the first queen. He pulled those those drones off the extractor once again, and let's have a look at the scouting of the Zerg.